My word, doesn't andizazi uba ndithini. And you are most welcome here. If you are new to the channel, please do. And if you think no. Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. My name is Zandile Rakudu, and this is my YouTube channel where I share about my life, I share about Jesus, I share about motherhood, being a wife or wifehood, share about life in general, and honestly anything and everything in between. I mostly do home style videos like this one, and I also do vlogs whenever I can. If you are new here, you're most welcome. Please do stay, subscribe to the channel, and continue to engage with my content. But if you are a returning subscriber, welcome, welcome, and welcome. So let's get into today's video. Alright guys, so in today's video, I am going to be answering some questions that I asked on Instagram. I actually posted I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember now, but I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Anywho, and I just said, ask me a question, and so I'm going to answer some of those questions here. I am using my other phone. I was so frustrated because I was actually struggling to get into Instagram on this old phone, so that I can record this video. I use my phone to do my YouTube videos, and so that's why I am using another phone. So every now and again I'll be looking down, but also I decided that I'm going to do something that I don't do, which is recording a video while I do my hair. You know, like you'll get ready with me and let's have a chat type of videos. So that's what I am trying out. As you can see, I changed where I'm recording today. The sun is out and I think there's enough light coming in here. I don't know. But yeah, the lighting in the room that I recorded in last week or in the previous video is way better because the sun is right up there, whereas here in the living room the patio has a roof, and so the sun doesn't directly come to the window, and so that's why it is a little bit darker down here, but there's a lot of natural light that does come in, so I'm using that to my advantage. That's just extra information nobody asked for. But again, like I said in that life update video, that I am trying to find different spots for me to record my videos, and especially my sit down videos, because that's what I want to, or that's what this channel is mostly about. So the sit down home style videos, and then vlogs will be like in between years. So for instance, if I say I'm going to post a sit down video every Tuesday and every Friday, then either on a Wednesday or on a Thursday or whatever, then I post a vlog if I have a vlog. But I honestly, again, because of the time constraints that I do have, I am trying to stick to a certain number of posts per week, just so that I don't put too much pressure on myself, but also so that I do not feel like I have to do all this extra work just so I can keep up with YouTube, because honestly, currently it is a little bit unrealistic for me to try and post every week, and by every week I post, or rather it's a little bit unrealistic for me to post more than 2 times in a week, but wherever I can I will post like 3 times a week. So yes, I will have videos on Tuesdays and on Fridays, so that allows me enough time to edit videos. So I am actually thinking that to try and maximize on time, and also trying to maximize on recording videos specifically, I'm gonna try and do that. I'll try and do these recordings on like a Saturday or a Sunday. So maybe during the times where the kids are napping, then I can take a video, or I can shoot something in that interim. So, as I said, today we are doing a ask me a question type of video while I do my hair. So I washed my hair, and I am now going to base my scalp, and then after that I'm going to just I don't know what it is called, but so it's like your stretching kind of hairstyle type of thing. Yeah, and I hope, because now I'm doing my hair at the same time, this action is not going to cause too much friction on the mic. But anyway, so I'm gonna answer. Oh nope, kinda, how do I open all questions? Responses, there we go. Okay, so those are the questions. It's not that much, but it's a few questions. Okay, so the first one says, we really enjoy your content. How can we show more support? Thank you so much. That's such a great question. So, okay, for one, I'm not going to read people's names because nobody consented to their names being shared on my YouTube channel, unless a person, is like, hey girl, look, you can share my name, I don't mind, then I will do that. But otherwise, I'm not going to share people's names. But anyway, so I'm glad that, or rather, I'm happy to see this question, because one, sometimes when you are building your hold on guys, sometimes when you're building a platform, you realize that it's not as easy to break into the space, right? And by that I don't mean I want to be now this world-renowned content creator, or whatever you want to call it, right? That's not what I am saying, nor is it what I am focused on. However, for what I'm trying to build, which if you want to know what that is, I will link the video where I speak about that in the description box. So yeah, the way then to support me is, to continue sharing, or not, sharing, but the word I'm actually looking for is continue engaging with my content. So liking my photos, liking the reels, the videos, or whatever it is that I post on my Instagram, following me on Instagram, subscribing to my YouTube channel, liking my videos, leaving a comment, whatever it is. I remember I said to a friend one time, and she was like, no, I'm not really a big fan of YouTube, or I don't necessarily follow and all these things on YouTube. And I said, listen, I get that, and I can't, and I don't think we are to force people into doing things that they are not necessarily interested in, all in the name of we are friends, therefore you should support me. I don't think it is authentic, and I don't think we should do that. However, if you are looking to help me grow on here, whether that is on Instagram or here on YouTube, the way that you can continue showing that support, showing that support is really just to, continue engaging with my content, share my posts, share the videos, share the links and all these things, share my profile if that's also something that you maybe would like to do. These are the things that help my content to go out there. So, and because I am looking to bring influence and impact in people's lives, not necessarily through the vlogs, but rather mostly through these kinds of videos, the sit down videos, especially videos where I'm talking about a specific thing. So it needs to reach more people, and for that to happen, for the algorithm to do that, my videos or my content needs to be constantly and continuously have that engagement happening on it. So that's the way that you can continue to support me, again, whether that is here on YouTube or on Instagram. And on Instagram, that is Captured in Love 7. I'll put the handle right there. Right. Next, quali loading. I think I had quite a few of these questions. Let me see. Congrats again on your grad. Will you be doing your PhD? I did make mention of this one in the life update video, just as a touch on this question, because it was part of something that I was talking about. But yeah, I don't know if that's actually something that I'm going to be doing anytime soon, as in like right now. I don't think it's something I'll be doing right now. Currently, I am taking a break from being a student because, wow, listen, studying while you are full-time employed and a parent and spouse and you are guys, it's too much. It's a lot, because now your time has to be shared amongst all these things that you are doing. And so I do want to eventually get to doing my, sorry guys, I'm not looking at you, I know right now, but I'm looking at myself here in the mirror just to make sure that I am basing my scalp properly. But anyway, so I do want to do my master's one day, not right now. And if I do my master's, that's something that I did also mention in the previous video. I still am not sure in what direction I'll be going, right? So will I continue with the higher education studies, or will I go back to my core or my main, my initial career aspirations, or my initial degrees, which is communication sciences, with the focus on corporate communication. Again, I did mention this, and I said, there is a difference between corporate communication and corporate marketing. And for me, I'm more interested in the corporate communication side of communications, because truly speaking, that is my sweet spot. I am one person who is big on communication. So my honors degree was focused on corporate communication, and specifically on government, right? But yeah, that's a conversation for another time. But anyway, so is there a degree or whatever right now that is loading? No. I am taking a break from that life. I am not doing any of that right now. But I will be going back to that. Oh yes, I was saying, the one thing that I am still trying to figure out if I can say is, will I be, so I already mentioned that, will I be going back to communications, or will I be going now to higher education studies, because that's what I studied in my postgrad diploma. So yes, it was not a master's, it was a postgrad diploma, which is on the same level as an honors degree. So so essentially I have 2 honors degrees, one in communication sciences and then the other in higher education studies. And I now will just have to figure out, do I want to go into higher education studies, or do I want to go into corporate communication? And if you want to know more about that, you can just go and watch the life update video, where I do speak about a little bit more on I almost want to say the trajectory of my life in the next 10 years and all of that. So it's currently something that I am really like thinking about and trying to see where my life is going from this point moving forward, right? So do I still see myself in higher education? Do I see myself going back into corporate communication? Or rather, do I see myself going back into communications? And so on and so forth, right? So yeah, I mean, my job does entail a bit of corporate communication. It's just not at the level that one would be at if I was directly doing now corporate communication work. So in other words, if I was working in the Department of Marketing and Communications, for instance. Yeah, okay, so next question. Who's the favorite parent? Ooh, I don't know. Sometimes it's my husband who's the favorite parent. Sometimes I'm the favorite parent. It really depends on what the kids are feeling that day or that week or in that season of their lives, because they do go through different phases and seasons where, you know, for some time they're not interested in you or whatever. There was a time where they were all about their dad, and I felt so like betrayed, because I'm like, I carried you for several months on end, and you are going to choose your father over me? How dare you? Yeah, so I don't think there is particularly a favorite parent, but I think also the other thing that I have noticed is if dad is disciplining, they do tend to want to come to me, and if I'm the one who's disciplining, then they do want to go to daddy a lot of times. So yeah, like sometimes Zoe will say to me, I want daddy, and I'm like, well, your dad ain't here, it's just you and me. What you gonna do about it? Who you gonna run to now? Hey guys, sometimes parenting will show you flames with like, you close to how. It's crazy, this thing. But yeah, so right, is it more enjoyable or stressful living with your energetic kids? As for energetic kids, oh, but you know, they are very energetic. If I'm being honest, I would say it is colorful. I think that's how I will phrase it. It is colorful, meaning it is stressful at times, but it is also very much enjoyable. I absolutely enjoy my children so much. I think I do mention this in the life update video, where I just give like a brief update on my kids. So if you haven't watched that video, evidently I'm making reference to that video a lot. So maybe pause this video and go watch that video. Then when you're done watching that video, then you come back to this video, so that when I make reference to that video, you're not lost. All right. Anyway, so as I was saying, it is, I want to say it's both. It's both stressful, but also enjoyable. And I say this because, again, like I said, it's very colorful with my kids. With Zoe, she says the most funniest things ever. She's such a funny child. She says the most funniest things. Sometimes she checks you and you have to, you know, come correct. And to her, she's just speaking. I love the minds that these toddlers have, because they're very straightforward with what they want to say, what they want to believe, or what they believe. And obviously they are still learning, and I think it is such an admirable thing for, you know, a child to be able to speak their minds without the fear of, you, if I say this to my parents, they're going to, you know, 1, 2, and 3. Like, I remember the other day I say to Zoe, kind of what was I saying, she must try. So one thing about my daughter, she's very, very picky with her food. And, you know, sometimes we would try to get her to like different kinds of foods. Like, don't just stick to one thing, try something else. You know, one of the biggest things that we've been, well, not me, her dad, we've been trying to get her to try is, burgers. I do not even know where this thing was from, but she just was like, I do not like burgers, and she calls them burgers. I don't like burgers. I want nothing to do with it, whatever. And then this other day, my husband bought me a burger, or we had bought burgers for ourselves, and then we got them nuggets or something, or chicken strips. I can't remember, but it was something. Anyway, so then so I say to her, come, Zoe, try it out. And she's like, I don't want to. And then she's like, it's yucky. And I say, hey, don't yuck my yum. And then she looks at me. I'm like, this is yummy. And then she says, well, mommy, don't yum my yuck. It was the most funniest thing ever. And now, every now and again, if I say yucky to something or whatever, then she'll just randomly say, mommy, don't yuck my yum. That is rude. I'm like, okay. Or if, I think I did share also on some of the things that she says that, that hold you accountable to what you're teaching, because kids learn mostly from what you do and not what you say. And my daughter will call you to accountability, that no, you said that I mustn't do this, therefore you also can't do this thing. And honestly, I really love it. And then my son is more on the side of, I want to fight and I do not want to hear anything about no. And so every now and again, we have to keep reminding ourselves that with him, telling him no actually makes him want to do the thing more. So I think that's mostly probably with all toddlers, but he is I don't know, I feel like maybe every parent probably feels like this, but if I say to him, let's say he's hitting his sister, and I say to him, no, Haune, don't hit your sister. And then he looks at me and then he continues what he's doing, like hitting her or pushing her, and then he laughs. And if I come and I say, hey, don't do that, or maybe I push him a little bit, or I smack his little hand or whatever, then he'll smack me back and says, hey, no. And I'm like, okay. So I realized that with him, hitting, or not that we really hit our kids. I don't really think we hit our kids to that point where I would say hitting or whatever. But we normally mostly discipline with speaking. And this is now obviously with Zoe. But yes, anyway, I digress. So with him, we are now trying to, because their personalities are so different, like my son is more reserved compared to his sister, but he is also extroverted in his own right. And the way that he expresses that is very different from how Zoe expresses. And so that's why I say that it's not neither, but I wouldn't say it's stressful, but rather that it's a very colorful life that we live because of their different personalities. I hope that answers your question. All right, the next question. Would you delete your personal account to focus on content creation? Ooh, okay. Correct, Luna. I'll read my mind or something. So for the longest time, I've been vacillating between deleting my personal account on Instagram, so my Zandi Rex account, and then just moving everything or migrating everything onto on the Captured in Love account, because I already am mostly on Captured in Love than I am on my personal account. And I just feel like it'll save me time, because then I'll have like DMs on that side when I go. Finally, I'm like, oh yeah, kinda I have an account. And then it's like, ooh, well, this is awkward. And then I remember there was a time where I responded to someone's DM, and that DM was like from, I think he had said 8 weeks or something like that. And I'm like, Sana, this thing of managing these accounts is becoming too much now for me. So yes, I have really, really thought about that, about deleting my personal account, but through many conversations with my friends, but also with my husband and some other, people who are in the content creation space. I've, the different conversations that we've had, they've actually, and quite unanimously, they've all said, no, don't delete your account, because there's certain things that you would want to have on your timeline that are not necessarily what you want to see on Captured in Love, which is very true, because it's not the content that I see on Captured in Love is not the same as the content I see on my personal account, because I follow, I would say, maybe 80% different people than I do on Captured in Love. So, on my personal account. And so, yes, because of that, I definitely would consider deleting. Would not consider deleting my account. So, yeah. Are you still, okay, the next question says, are you still content with 2 kids? Kore le rata batho ha ba ntse tsa bana. Ke itse leng rapelle ke thola 140 million, maybe ke tla etsa bana ba bang, who knows. Ooh, guys, I'm just joking about if I get money, I'll make more kids. I'm joking about that. Honestly speaking, I would say yes. We are still content with our 2 kids. And I don't know if that will change. I truly do not know if that's something that would change. And if it does change, it will probably happen in our old age, past my desired childbearing years. And please do understand me. I'm not saying this to be insensitive or in a way to make myself seem whatever or make other people seem whatever. But for me, I do believe that this is what the Lord has for us. And look, I'm not saying God said you will have 2 kids and that is it. So please understand me. I'm not saying God said. However, what I am saying is we are content and at peace with the 2 kids that we have. Should anything change and the Holy Spirit says to us, hey, you need to have more kids or whatever, I do think that, we are open to, and not even I think we are open. If the Holy Spirit is saying this needs to happen, if God says it, then so be it. I'm just going to leave it at that. Right, next question. Did you guys move? Go watch the previous video, the life update video. You'll get your answer there. But for a quick answer, yes, we did move. Right, next question. What does your job entail? Okay, so yeah, what does your job entail? What's your job about? Ooh, do I talk about this? I don't know. Okay, so my job is about, or rather the umbrella cover of the work I do is student success, right? And so specifically, I work as an academic advisor, but I also work as a project coordinator for a national project that is, a national project that we work with different institutions in South Africa. But I'll speak mainly on the academic advising work. Yeah, so I do project coordination, but I'm also an academic advisor. And with the project coordination, that's where I was saying that I do go into the corporate communication side of what I studied, right? So now back to academic advising. So as an academic advisor, I work with students where I work to empower them with success strategies for them to reach their graduation. And what we want to do as academic advisors, not just at my institution but institutions all across the country, is to bring down the dropout rates, especially in first year students, because there's a certain trend that you see where first year students come in and they realize that, no, I don't want to study this thing, or I don't want to study anymore, or whatever. And by realize, I mean because of the difficulties of adjusting into a new environment where you come from high school and now you're in university. And because university is such a huge space, a lot of the first years find themselves getting lost, right? Especially first generation students, right? You find that they get lost in the mix of it all, where I'm the first child to come to university, and therefore I do not necessarily have that support of actual understanding of what this new environment looks like from my family, because they don't have that clear understanding, or they don't have that lived experience understanding of what getting into this space is about. And so us as academic advisors, we try to help those students, or rather our purpose is to help those students find a place or have a sense of belonging while they are successfully going through their academic journey in the institution that they would be finding themselves studying in. So that's what my work is. So we work with students with things such as time management skills. We look at we look at study strategies. We look at timetable management. We look at weekly schedules. That's all, of course, under time management stuff. We look at workload management, and then also career advising. We look at educational planning. And my interest, or where I would say I have a bigger passion in, is in career advising, because that's actually something that I have always loved since high school, in fact. So that's what my work is about. Right. Next question. Congrats again on your grad. Ooh. I'm going to insert a picture here. I realized that in the previous video, I said I'm going to insert a picture and then I didn't. But yes, I will insert a few pictures, so you can see my graduation. Listen, guys, if you are looking for a photographer, this guy, he has my heart when it comes to photography. This is Siamnisi Photography. He is exceptional with the work that he does. If you remember the runner, I think he was number 2, runner-up, Idols. I don't know what year it was, I can't remember. But Brandon Lulu, Siamnisi is his photographer. Please go check out those pictures, and you will see the pictures, the videos, whatever. Go and check it out, and you will see how good this guy is. So I'm gonna put those pictures here, and I'll also include Siamnisi's handle, Instagram handle, so you can also go check out his work. He's absolutely amazing. This is not a paid ad, okay? It's free marketing for this guy because he's absolutely amazing. So yeah, okay. So will you be doing your PR? Okay, no, I already answered this question because it was related to a different question. Right, the next question. What's the one thing you and your husband used to fight about? Not socks vibes, but something challenging. Woo! That's a big one. Yo, where do I even begin? I'd have to. Okay, let me just think quickly, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I went to go think, but also, ta-da! I'm done with this hair stuff. But anyway, to finish off this video, let me just read that question again. So it says, what's the one thing you and your husband used to fight about? Not socks vibes, but something challenging. Okay, so I think that this is something that we have spoken about a few times, and also we on one of the videos that we collaborated with the Darlingtons a while ago. I think they were doing I think it was their Valentine's special, and we spoke about this. Well, not necessarily this as the challenge, but rather something that we have found to thrive in our relationship a lot, right? And that is communication. Let me tell you. So, communication for us had and has always been at the center of our relationship. So when we started dating, we were staying, I'd say maybe a 30-minute drive away from each other. So he stayed in Virginia, I stayed in Ludwigstadt. Is it a 30-minute drive? I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. And then, so obviously we would talk a lot. Then I moved back to Bloemfontein and he was still in Virginia. And I would only see him over weekends. So we relied a lot on communication, right? So we would, whether that is like chats on WhatsApp or that is phone calls. Once video calls were a thing, also then video calls. I think video calls came in much later in life. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what we used to do. And then we got married, and that continued to, solidify the foundation of our relationship, that communication. And we continued with that, and I think it really helped us a lot. And we used to even do the thing of quarterly check-ins. Yeah, we used to do quarterly check-ins, and then when it comes to like now around this time, June, July-ish, we would have like a big, meeting. We were like, okay, so how's everything going? What am I doing that you do not like? What am I doing that you love? Or what am I doing that you want me to do less of? What am I doing that you want me to do more of? How can we better improve our marriage, etc., etc., those kind of things, right? But I would say where we had a challenge was when we had our first child, so Zoe. After she was born, it was a bit of a challenge navigating the roles of, not necessarily the roles of parenthood or the roles of marriage, but rather trying to merge parenthood and our marriage into one was something that I think we really struggled with in the beginning, right? So when I was pregnant, my husband was absolutely amazing. I hardly did anything essentially with my first pregnancy. And that went on into, after giving birth, postpartum, and all those things. But I think for me, I got so comfortable in that I struggled to get back into how things were. And by that, I mean, I struggled to, now my husband, because now he has to be doing his work where he's traveling every day and then come home and have to also then take care of our child, etc., etc. And then here I would be also coming back from work and pumping and all these things, and then get home and then I have to parent and this and this and that, and I would struggle with now getting into in the kitchen where I need to now cook and all these things. Obviously this is not the base of everything, but that navigating that transition of it was just us and now it's us and a dependent who is completely dependent on us for everything, right? That was such a struggle. That transition was a struggle. It was so challenging because we found that our communication, which was something that we thrived on, was breaking down a little bit. And we finally, had a sit down. We finally had a sit down and we were like, okay, let's talk. What's going on? Because we are not communicating. And that is like the base of our relationship. If there was anything that we preached to people, it was always communicate, communicate, communicate. And yet here we were and not doing that exact thing. So I would say that was the biggest thing that was a struggle for us. I remember 2023 October. Yes, 2023 October. This was shortly after we found out we were pregnant with our second child. And we went away on a holiday, just myself and my husband. We left our daughter in Bloem with the nanny. We left, and on that holiday we decided, okay, let's take time to speak about our marriage, especially now that we are going to welcome a new family member. So we redid the love languages. And guys, if you've been married for more than 5 years, let's say if you've been married for more than 3 years, please do that. Take the love languages test again, because you realize just how much changes, especially with every transition that you guys go through. So that is a new job, a new family member added, a new city that you move to, or adding someone into your household, whatever transition, any big transition, please, maybe let's say allow 6 months to pass, then retake that test, because it helps you to realize where you are firstly as an individual, and then it helps you then to also realize where your partner is as an individual. And then on top of that, it helps you realize where you, both of you, need to now switch and do things differently, because you are growing as you are going through these transitions. And therefore, if you are going to stick to what worked when you first got married and what worked in that first year of marriage or whatever, it will really make your marriage suffer a lot. And I'm saying this because my husband and I have been married 9 years now. 9 years in December this year. We've been together for 11 years. That's insane. We've been together for so long. But anyway, and we are constantly growing as human beings, and we are constantly moving into different phases of our lives. When I was studying, that was a transition that we also had to navigate, and we needed communication. And so in that, I had to communicate and say, these are my expectations, because, or rather, as I'm studying, I'm expecting this and this and this and this in terms of support. And then he also had to express his expectations of, okay, as you are studying and you're working and you're a parent, and I was pregnant at the time, I am also going through these different things at my workplace, or these are the different things that are happening in my workplace. Therefore, these are my expectations and how I would like for us to handle 1, 2, and 3. And we'd have those conversations, right? We're not perfect. Yes, sometimes we will falter. Sometimes we would get into bad habits or old habits, and that communication was something that constantly needed to be brought back. So that was one of the things that we had to do. We had to finally come to a place where we sat down and said, hey, okay, let's talk. Something is afoot, and we need to address it and get it out before it becomes something we will regret in the future, or something that will take us out of the good place that we are in. So anyway, when we took that test, I realized how much my love languages changed, because I used to be a physical touch and quality time is number 1, and then number 2 was physical touch, and those were my 2 top things. And then acts of service was like, I almost want to say, I think it was like the 5th or the 4th thing. I can't remember. So when we took this test, we realized that my love languages had changed, and my number 1 was acts of service. My number one was acts of service, and then my number two was quality time, and then my number three was physical touch, and then the rest, right? And my husband as well, his love languages also changed. But I realized that all this time I thought I'm, here. And no, I am not filling the cup the way it's supposed to be filled. Same thing with him. He thought he was filling, but actually he wasn't filling the cup the way that I needed him to fill it for me to feel loved. And so after we took those tests, we then had a conversation about them. Okay, so what does this mean? How am I supposed to love you? Or how do you want me to love you? Etc., etc., etc. And so again, in as much as yes, it became a big challenge in our marriage, but it was also a way for us to, it was also the same thing that we needed to use to fix, or to not fix sounds wrong, but yes, to fix that issue, right? So we felt that transition of just married to parenthood was tough on us, and we were not communicating, and therefore we were suffering in silence. But once we had those conversations, things started changing. Obviously, it didn't happen overnight, and sometimes I feel like we are still navigating those changes, especially with adding on another child soon after. I mean, they are 2 years and 3 months apart, but I do feel like that was very quick. Even my mom was like, this is too fast. You guys are forcing my child to grow up too fast. And in that, she was talking about Zoe. So yeah, so I really do think that was, I think that's like one of the biggest challenges that we had to navigate and overcome. And in instances where we felt like, okay, I feel here we are not hearing each other, and it seems like we won't hear each other. And and this is the importance of having people that you are accountable to, or people you are account to, regarding your relationship, regarding your marriage, regarding your serving, parenting, all these things. So I remember I went and met with actually we did a marriage, what was that thing called? Essentially a marriage enrichment. We did a marriage enrichment course at some point in our lives, and then, but I think that was before we got married. Yes, I mean, not married, before we had Zoe. Then later on we attended a marriage advance where, things were being spoken about, and, I realized a lot of things. I'm like, oh, actually I still have some baggage here that I've not dealt with, and I need to work on that and work through that, and those kind of things. And that's where I realized that, okay, I need to work on this thing, and for me to work on this thing, it means that I need to bring in an outsider who can help me navigate these challenges or whatever's that maybe we may still be facing, and so on and so forth. So it is vital to have people that you account to, and this should not be your friends or your peers, but it is people that are ahead of you, and ahead of you in the sense of they've been married longer than you, they have kids that are much older than you, and they are happily married, and it's a marriage that when you look at it, you're like, I aspire to have a marriage like that. Not necessarily looking at them as idols, but looking at them as an example of what a good marriage should look like. I hope that makes sense. But again, just to bring this up with that, the blueprint for marriage is in the Bible, and that's where we need to follow it. We need to follow what the Bible says about marriage, what the Bible says about a husband, and what the Bible says about the wife. However, because we are in this age that we are in, the people that we look up to need to be people who resemble the type of marriage that you are looking for. So meaning they are living a life or have a marriage that follows the blueprint of the Bible. Secondly, it is people who are born again. We are born again. We are Christians. We believe in Jesus, and so it has to be a couple that also has those very same values as us. I think for us also the important thing was that, you know, they are in the same church as us, because then we have the same base when it comes to the belief, what do you call them, I want to say the doctrine, where we have the same, or where we are under the same teachings and the same authority, right? So it just makes life easier. And obviously for me, I feel like even with dating and marriage, be with someone who's in the same church as you, as far as you can, obviously. But if you can't find that in your church, it's not like, okay, now you can't get married. But I think having the same teachings and having those same principles and same values and all of that does make the relationship or the connection that much easier. It doesn't mean that, you know, there won't be any trouble, but yeah. So anyway, so that's the importance of having someone or people that you account to in that way. When I go to now the person or the couple, when I say to them, this is what's happening and I feel frustrated about 1, 2, and 3, or this is whatever, they are able to, because they are coming from an outside perspective, because we are both in it and we are both like this, we can't get to a point of this. The person who's on the outside is able to then pull the one and say, okay, but look, this is what's happening. And him as well, when he goes to his person, he's also able to pull him out and say, okay, but look at the situation. Then we're able to then come back into this, rather than being here the whole time and trying to figure this thing out ourselves. So this thing of we don't need nobody in our marriage, what. I think, unfortunately, it does make a lot of relationships suffer, because when you are in this place, it is not that easy to come out of it yourselves, because you are biased to your own experience of whatever is happening. But it does take 2 mature people and 2 people who are willing to get into that space. So yeah, that is the final question. So I hope I answered you. You used to fight about something challenging. Yeah, that was a big challenge that we had. But if I can talk about something like really silly that we used to fight about, I would say the silliest thing I can think of is things like the chair. The chair, oh my soul. So what the chair means is a place where your spouse or your significant other throws their clothes there and they don't move them. So that was something I noticed while we were dating, whenever I'd visit him at his apartment or at his flat. And then when we got married, it didn't stop. And I was just like, no! And then he stopped at the chair because we didn't have a chair anymore. But then you'd see it appear somewhere else, and you're just like, what is this? But yeah, I think that's just a silly thing that, you know, we would have arguments about. But honestly, in marriage, guys, you choose and pick which battles you're going to fight. Not everything is worth a fight. Some things you just like, okay, whatever, and you move on and, you know, deal with it yourself. Some things, they are definitely worth the battle, because the cost of not fighting the battle is way too high, and that would be your marriage, right? So things like socks and toothpaste and toilet paper, to a certain extent, I think they're small things that will not be detrimental to your marriage or relationship. But things that are big, like, you know, communication and parenting style or marriage, whatever to, I think those are big things that you definitely do need to, you know, deal with and get into. So yeah, thank you so much for the questions and engaging with me, guys. I really appreciate it. So I hope you will enjoy watching this video, and I hope that I answered every question to the best of my ability, but also as full as I possibly could. I am a very talkative person. If you have not realized that, I am a big advocate for communication, and I think that's why I also went into that studies wise, and that's why I have such a big passion for it. And so talking is like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, but I really do hope that I did answer every question as full as I possibly can. But yes, those were all the questions for today. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like the video. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let's have a chat. Let us talk. If you want to ask a follow-up question, maybe on one of the questions or on my answers, please do that. I will then be answering there in the chats as well. And in the last video, I did say in the description that I am going to be bold and say we are now officially on the road to 200 subscribers. I am currently sitting on 116 subscribers, and so I want us to hit 200 subscribers by June, July, August. Let's say 3 months. Okay, let's say it's the end of June. So July, August, September. Let's say by the end of September, I am hoping I'm hoping that we will be hitting 200 subscribers. And when we hit 200 subscribers, I will do something again. The last time when we hit 100 subscribers, I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a story time that you guys wanted. I don't remember. But with 200 subscribers, we'll see what we do. It'll be another like type of video that you decide what kind of video I should make, and then I'll do that. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll do at 200 subscribers, you will decide what kind of video I should post. So whether that is a home style video or it is a vlog. You can even look at different challenges that people have done on YouTube and you suggest that. So that's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to celebrate reaching 200 subscribers. But thank you so much, really. I really appreciate the support. And like I said, for you to continue supporting me, just continue to interact with my content, and that's the best way that you can support me. So yes, please remember to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a video, and make sure that you don't miss anything that I post. Okay guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week, or enjoy your weekend. Bye guys.